Hello from sunny California in my backyard or in my rear garden if you're joining me from the UK. I announced yesterday my hardcover of Infected. This is one of the original wine glasses I used to celebrate the launch almost 10 years ago. And I said in the post that I probably should show off the hardcover just to get you a better look for it, because the pictures don't quite do it justice. Which I'll give you a quick look here while I'm waiting for more people to join. This is going to be mirrored probably because my phone is so I can see and make sure I'm in frame. But I can reverse the video later, I think. I don't know. But while we're waiting for a few people to join, because that's how the Facebook algorithm works, I will read some of the interactive author foreword that comes in this special 10th anniversary edition. So shout out to Mike Ropke. It was actually his idea to do an interactive author foreword, which is a great idea. So this starts out: a decade of decisions, or an introspective, retrospective, forward-looking forward. Join me, dear reader, as we look back on 10 years of poison clicking. Or, if you prefer, we can look ahead to which paths might open themselves to us in the future. You decide how I introduce this special 10th anniversary hardcover edition of Infected. Let's begin. As I write this introduction, this month marks 10 years since my departure from the U.S. Air Force and the start of a new career, namely as a righter of wrongs and a purveyor of poisoned paths. But even then, it wasn't clear that this would be the direction I would take. In the spring of 2011, I was finishing up my last duty assignment as an intercontinental ballistic missile combat crew member stationed in Great Falls, Montana. I won't say much about my time working in secure underground bunkers, because many of my former duties are still classified, and, more importantly, because I really don't want to. That time spent beneath snowy farmers' fields under the frozen plains of Montana, deep within the bowels of the earth, was a very dark time. They should really get better lighting down there. So it was that moving to California would be the start of a bright, sunny new chapter. I was more than ready to hang up my captain's bars for a new adventure, and with a new world before me in 2011, I prepared for a decade of decisions. And from here you have two choices. First, tell us about those 10 years, personal, professional, etc. Bring us up to speed. Or, it's in the past, it doesn't matter. What's the plan for the next 10 years? And so begins the hardcover special edition. If you pick it up, you can read the rest of that forward to yourself, hearing my voice in your head now that you've heard this, I'm sure. But let me just show off a little bit. So, alright, this is the original paperback, which I still love, is great. Great art by Nikki Jansen on here, and you can see there's a lot of text in this book. My books have never had illustrations. I prefer to put the illustration in your head with my description. So that's the paperback. But for this, I had an opportunity to make a hardcover, and I wanted to do a reason rather than just reissue the same thing, or a book like Spied that I had just released. So I had Brian Silviera, who has done some of my art on other books, commissioned him to do a special edition cover, which this just looks amazing, Brian. You can see someone holding the Gilgazyme inhaler and kind of the zombie apocalypse scourge coming out of it. 10th anniversary edition seal here. This is a very sturdy book. I was talking with my buddy Mike Beeson, and it came up that if there's no other reason to get this over the paperback, it's that you could actually wallop a zombie pretty good with this. Make a good bludgeoning weapon. But seriously, even the back cover, there's a lot of detail in here. It's going to be hard to see on camera, but it's a bit of like a Where's Waldo of a zombie apocalypse, of a lot of stuff happening on here that you can kind of pour over once you get it. And I'll show you a little bit of the interior. I did a lot of road signs to go with my Click Your Poison logo theme, but there's also other various illustrations, some blood in that one. You can see, let me get a good one of a nice zombie in here for you. This is just some more line drawings to show the various types. But yeah, here you go. Here's a nice zombie in there for you. So the pages that naturally would have had a lot of white space, I tried to fill in. So there's a full good amount of illustrations in here between those road signs and line drawings, meant to be somewhat adding humor, or at least, you know, maybe some clues on what to do. I also included some extras that are not in the other versions of the book, so you'll have that author forward that you can't get elsewhere. There's some of my flowchart for the book. There's this. I had originally written this as a screenplay way back when, and you'll get to see some of that if you pick up this 10th anniversary edition. But overall, I think the story is the same, but it's a fun way to celebrate 10 years as a writer, which that's this month. I 10 years ago left the Air Force to do this crazy thing, and have been doing it ever since. So thanks for joining me on it, and thanks for watching. You guys have a good weekend.